What's happening, Mario fans? It's John of Video Games and the World, and welcome to my review of the Super Mario Bros. Movie. Wow! This movie was exactly one we didn't deserve, but the one we totally needed. So many awesome things from the same studio that brought you Minions, Despicable Me, and many others as well. Illumination Studios totally knocked it out of the park with this movie. Not to forget that the directors of this movie are the same people behind the TV show Teen Titans Go. Although I am not fond of Teen Titans Go, since it's more of a generic comedy compared to the old show that I loved growing up, I gotta give credit where it is due. Michael Jelenic and Aaron Horvath totally outdid themselves and brought us something really awesome. So right now, let us begin with this review. But I warn you though, this contains some spoilers. You've been warned. Let's go! Mario and Luigi are two struggling plumbers from Brooklyn, New York. When they try to save their neighborhood from a massive flood, they enter a mysterious pipe that warps them to another world. That world is the Mushroom Kingdom, a kingdom in peril of being invaded by the evil forces of the King of Koopas, Bowser. Mario then joins with Princess Peach and Toad to save not only the Mushroom Kingdom, but also his brother Luigi, and join forces with Donkey Kong as well. The animations and the visuals were icing on the cake, and this movie has a lot of familiar themes. If you played Mario as a child in the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, or the 2010s, then you will have the ride of your life with the music themes you remember from various games in the Mario series. I like the fact that Princess Peach doesn't play the trope of a damsel in distress like she played in so many of the video games, both old and new. I really like that she mentored Mario for the fight that is to come, and we get to see a more badass side of her. Now, if you're someone who doesn't like that idea that she's a badass and fights bad guys, then obviously you're someone who thinks that women shouldn't be badasses because it puts men down, when that is not the case. Just because we see a woman fighting bad guys and kicking ass doesn't mean that it's an agenda to put men down and make them less manly, because thinking like that is just petty and fragile. Or because you probably never saw her fighting bad guys in games like Super Mario Bros. 2, Super Princess Peach, Super Smash Bros., and so on. Give these games a try, you'll love them. Not to forget, we saw her fighting bad guys in the Super Mario Bros. Super Show, The Adventures of Super Mario Bros. 3 cartoon, Super Mario World cartoon, and also in the Nintendo Power comics. I loved how many of the power-ups from various games like Super Mario Bros. 3, New Super Mario Bros. Wii, Super Mario Bros. 3D World made it into this movie. And don't get me started with Mario vs. Donkey Kong. Oh my god, what a phenomenal scene. It was like something out of Smash Brothers. My beef with this movie in a way is, however, is that I kind of hope they did a bit more with Luigi during many parts of the movie, but at least he get this big moment which I will not talk about. The character development was really good. They did a very good job with the developments of Mario, Luigi, and Peach as well. If there's something I know about Luigi, is that sometimes it's okay to be afraid. Being afraid is a part of us as human beings. We cannot bottle up our fears, because if we do, then we lose. They did really good with Princess Peach's origin for the duration of the story, and also how she trained herself to prepare for battle against Bowser. Both Mario and Donkey Kong having problems with their dads was pretty relatable, because there are times we try to live up to our parents' expectations, and to them, it's not enough. But in the end, we prove we don't have to always meet their expectations, and they realize how proud of us our parents can be. As for the voice acting, many were skeptical about Chris Pratt being Mario, but I gotta say, he did pretty good in a certain way. Yeah, a lot of us wanted Charles Martinet voicing Mario, but Chris did a good job. Charlie Day also did really good as Luigi. He captured the timid personality of our favorite green plumber really good. Anya Taylor-Joy did a very good job voicing Princess Peach. I'm sure that the voice of Peach in the games, Jen Taylor, would totally be proud. Jack Black did so good as Bowser. He totally pulled it off as a character who wants not only to conquer the Mushroom Kingdom, but marry Princess Peach to make her his queen and rule the Mushroom Kingdom. He's got a lot of funny and awesome moments. Keegan-Michael Key was awesome as the voice of Toad. He not only acts as a guide for Mario in the Mushroom Kingdom, but also as an advisor for Princess Peach. Seth Rogen was hilarious and awesome as Donkey Kong. His rivalry with Mario was a nice reference to their ongoing feud in video games since their debut in the 1980s. Fred Armisen did really good as Cranky Kong too. He's his father who is annoyed with his son's antics of showing off. As for Charles Martinet, he voices Giuseppe, Mario and Luigi's father. Giuseppe resembles Mario's original appearance in Donkey Kong and speaks similarly to Martinet's voice for Mario in the games. Many criticized the film for its exceedingly straightforward narrative, not reflecting the franchise's creativity in the slightest. Others said that it's lacking in narrative and tried too hard to avoid the failures of the 1993 film. In my honest opinion, this may have some nods to the 1993 film, but it's ultimately better than the live-action movie. And that live-action movie, to me, it's still a guilty pleasure. At least the Mushroom Kingdom in this movie is an Alice in Wonderland-esque type of world than that neon-lit cyberpunk city that we saw in the live-action 1993 movie. And finally, in conclusion, this movie is exactly how you adapt a video game. It was a love letter to Mario fans. To me, this movie was obviously more faithful to the source material than the 1993 movie. Love a lot of things about this movie, the music, the story, and the action. I gotta say that with adaptations like Silent Hill, Uncharted, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, Castlevania, The Last of Us, and this movie, the curse of video game adaptations being so bad is breaking. The tides are turning, as I said many times. My final score for this movie is a 9.5 out of 10. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'm John of Video Games in the World. Have a good one. And, as Mario says, see you next time!